I'm DJ Miller Black. I DJ for Miss Banks, and obviously I'm here a part of Girls Can't DJ. To the, what is it, right, and who you got?
I'm Izzy Bossy, I'm a DJ and I also run a platform called Bossy London.
My name is Lady Banton. I run a sound system by the name of Seduction City. And yeah, I've been playing for donkey's years.
Should I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Who was your audience when you first started in the scene?
So my audience, I would say, was my close friends. So I grew up with Little Sims. So it was at the early part of her career. I vanished for like 3 months, came back with my little new mark and just started playing music for hours. Didn't finish until like 3 in the morning. So that was my first audience.
So before I DJ'd, I used to throw events called Bossy London, and basically the reason that I started doing it is because like I didn't see enough females on flyers and I didn't feel like female DJs were getting like represented the way that they should. So I was throwing the events and then I was like, why don't I DJ? I wanted to do it for ages, but people always used to say to me like, oh, like, are you sure? And stuff like that. And then to be honest, I feel like that pushed me even more to be like, I want to do this.
My first scene was in school. I think it started when I was about in year 10, as the rebel that I am. I used to take the records into school and we started a rave in, I can see the classroom now. Lunchtime, I bought the records in and I had this small 12-inch console. It was amplified and everything, and that's where I started. And we used to have raves at lunchtime until they caught us.
Oh, wow. I would have definitely have been there. That sounds like my type of thing.
It's as long ago as that, 1978. So the height of the disco era.
Yeah.
I used to be there DJing, and it just started to get bigger and bigger until they saw the year 7s outside the room, because we used to get them to guard the door, and it just got stupid and we got caught.
I feel like I was born in the wrong era when it comes to like the progression of like music, in terms of like the freedom, because I feel like now it's not like that.
I think that every DJ could say that they were born at the wrong time, because I feel like I was, it was nice in the 70s, but there was more going on
in the 80s.
Before me. You know what I mean? Just the freedom to be able to play what you want and experiment, you know?
Yeah.
But I do get what you mean about how it is now. Who do you want to shout out as women in dancehall?
All right, so shout out my babes Francia.
How dare you shout out my babes before I did it?
When you come to London in January, shut down. Even though she doesn't perform this type of music anymore, I would also say Lady Saw. And there's one more person, but their name is at the end of my tongue, but I can't remember it for the life of me.
No, I'm going to shout out Shinsia as well, because anyone that knows me, they know I have been champion and playing her since she did that freestyle on One Extra with Shawnee B time ago.
I dittoed the songs from the new artists, the reggae songs, Savannah, Leela, Ike. I like their feel. I like some of the rhythms that she rides, you know what I mean?
Tell us about your earliest clubbing experience or the first sound system you visited.
For me, it must be Notting Hill Carnival. I used to go every year since the age of like 1 with my mum and my dad. And my mum used to like put me right in front of the sound system. She used to be like, feel the bass, and like used to just record me dancing there.
Going to the carnival, it was 1976, and I'd never seen the size of sound systems in 76, and they were just absolutely everywhere, every corner, unregulated. Those were very big sound systems compared to the house systems,
I think it was Coliseum, that's closed down now, and there was an event called Bootylicious that was on, and I remember thinking, oh my days, swear down, there's this much black people that like like the same sex. Like I couldn't believe it. Like so, that is my earliest experience clubbing.
Okay, here's an interesting one. What does the Girls Can't DJ stage at Strawberries and Creem mean to you?
It means a whole lot to me, honestly. It really showed me how far believing in yourself, and obviously being a female as well, how far you can really go when you all work together. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the Strawberries and Creams Girls Can't DJ stage vibes. That's what it means to me, literally vibes. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I just love how like Girls Can't DJ, they have like so many different sort of female DJs. Like I love how George, like she picks loads of different DJs from different scenes, from like different backgrounds to come together and yeah, create a vibe for everyone to experience.
I feel it's like an honour to be on the stage because the road has been hard. I'm really excited by it, you know, that we've moved and Girls Can't DJs have a champion, a space for women, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And like also it's like a safe space because like it's full of like loads of women who are all supportive and like big vibe.
Last year the vibes was already up there, so obviously I know this year it's a lot bigger. I can't wait.
Last year I got on the front of the stage and was doing all types of dancing and that is not me. So let's see what happens this year.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about women, queer people in sound system culture? Like I love my culture, I love where I'm from, but a lot of the lyrics are homophobic. But like if you was to play, let's say TOK, that song goes off in the gay rave. Like it goes all the way off. So I feel like we don't look at it with that bad stigma anymore. We celebrate it, if anything, because we've had to create our own space because we wasn't accepted in that space that was really playing this type of music. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What do you think about the policing of black music spaces? How does it impact you as a black woman or as a queer black person? How long you got?
Yeah.
How long have you got?
We've got all day. Like, no, honestly.
For me, it's been deliberate. They've been doing it since the blues dances. When I was younger, we had clubs, we made attempts to run them properly. Because the promoters had good relationships with the club owners, they were saying, we'd like to, but the police have already come to us and said, if you really want to continue to have your license, you need to stop hiring to these guys. Let me tell you, this establishment, do not forget. If you've upset them or you've challenged them, they don't forget. And I get that every year because, one, I'm a black female and I'm providing a black space, even though it's a fantastic space. I get it every year. I get that every year. So this is not new. I can't imagine what that would look like in a black queer space.
I feel like the way they police our events is just, it's not normal. I had an event in December and I don't know what was going on, but there was just loads of police outside. They started rocking everyone on the floor. Like the event was finished, everyone was going home. Like I even got caught up in that. And for me, it was like, rah, I've provided a service. I've finished my job basically. And now I'm being manhandled because you're just seeing a bunch of black people. And because again, it's about safety at the end of the day. And like that incident there nearly made me stop DJing altogether. Like it was crazy.
I'm actually barred from quite a few venues.
Is it?
They won't even, yeah, I did this like Megan Thee Stallion hot girl party and like I would say like it was 90% black and queer and they shut my party off at midnight because they said the neighbours were complaining. It was only good vibes. It was such a good event. Like everyone was having the best time, but the venue was white owned and they just locked it off. They sent everyone home. They saw the crowd and they were like, no. They called the police, everything. It was so intense. I think like I've been having this conversation with a lot of people recently, and I think like to end this on like a positive, what needs to happen is we need more black and black queer people opening venues, running venues, bringing their money back into the community.
How have you found or created community in the scene?
For me, the community that I have and I've created over the years is central to the Notting Hill Carnival.
How I created my community is like, firstly, speaking to everyone who was like coming up around the same time as me, like who were doing the same thing or in the creative industry or like had the same like thoughts and like wanted people to progress the same as I did. And then from doing like free events where like anyone could come and like network and meet, and I feel like-minded people came together and the community started to grow bigger and bigger, and I feel like that's how I created the community.
I DJ on scene, but my audience is predominantly white, but I'm playing dancehall. So I would say I've created a space where other DJs can now come into the LGBTQAI. Did I say that right? Okay, I'm not too sure, but yeah, there's a space where they can come and they don't have to feel like, oh, I can't play this type of music because the audience is white, because music doesn't have a colour, as far as I'm concerned. So I feel like I've created a space where energy and vibes was missing. So people come out and have a really good time, like in the community now.
Do you think the industry has changed since you started?
I think on the surface, it looks like it's changed.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's ways in which they still try to keep us out of the mix. So, you know, like we were talking about, you know, festivals and the fact that there's not even a female DJ on the lineup. What the hell? And that's what I'm really concerned about. I'm thinking nothing else has changed. In terms of more DJs who look like me, I'm glad.
If whoever it is has booked me and whoever else is on the lineup, they don't know who I am as a DJ, you still get that same stigma, like not being taken seriously. So I was saying that aspect, like, no, it hasn't changed. How would you describe your own development as an artist and the transition towards your own voice?
I guess like it's always been around like helping females and like supporting everyone really, and pushing equality, because like I feel like it's not about like having a all female, all male. It's about like us being the same. But I know there's a lot of work to do there. When I first started, I actually wanted to be called Yardy B. And like I wanted to play dancehall, but then like because of where I was and like where I was getting booked, it was more like trap and hip hop and drill, and I was constantly playing that, and like I liked it, but like I really actually wanted to play dancehall. Maybe it was like 2 years ago where I thought, you know what, I'm actually just gonna play what I want, and I actually got the confidence to be like, I'm gonna do this.
It's quite easy to just fall in line, isn't it, and play the same old.
Yeah. My development as a DJ artist, it hasn't been easy. Obviously, I'm a mask presenting woman, so some of the hurdles I've had to deal with, they're quite similar to yours, but in terms of like in the dancehall industry as well, it's very few female selectors. So obviously I'm coming, I'm on the mic, I'm basically doing what they're doing. So I would say 2019 is where I really found my voice, my development, like everything in terms of even like mixing dancehall with the latest drill rhythms now. Like I don't try to stay in a box.
But it's true, like I hate to say this, but like in the dancehall scene, being a female selector is actually hard.
It is.
It's so hard, and like you'll say to someone, you're a DJ, like, oh, you're a DJ, yeah? Oh. I'm like, so what's that meant to mean? I don't know. Or like disregarding that you're playing next. That's something that like I can't stand.
I'm actually a sound system, and that's the culture that I come from. So it's physically having the equipment. So that was just even worse. You're a sound system, ha ha ha, kind of thing. You're not a real sound system. And I built my first sound system in a youth club after many years of not having a full set. I actually built my sound system with the help of people within the industry. And that's been really empowering because, just like you said, it's playing dancehall with a sound system. You need the bass line.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You need the
100%.
full-
Yeah.
The proper bass line and the sub bass. And I want to be able to now give other female DJs an opportunity to hear what it feels like to play on a sound system and to control that.
I just want to say thank you to gal-dem, Strawberries and Creem, Girls Can't DJ and Havana Club for having us. And if you want to find us, my social is at Izzy Bossy.
DJ Miller Black, that's on everything.
This is Lady Banton. Thank you very much for having me. And you can find my socials on Seduction City Sound.
Yeah.